So next up, we'll start with this question. How about, we'll start with you, Robert. How about services for off-reservation enrollees? And I don't mean just the urban setting, but anywhere our people are, that they could be helped in some way, shape, or form. What is your position on that for off-reservation membership?
Well, we all need assistance sometimes in our lives, no matter where we're at, on a reservation, off the reservation, throughout the nation, a place to come home to. You know, one of the nicest things that I see about this area is the community council. I'll expand on other areas, but it's the laughter, the friendship, working together for the common causes. To make a difference, I truly believe, as a tribal council, if they listen and pay attention to the needs of everybody that's outside the boundaries, that have moved away for whatever reasons they wanted to or they had to at certain times during the relocations or whatever the causes were. It is up to that, to me, it is up to that community to tell the council what they need. The tribal council, the support or the services, the finances, the medical, the transportations. It is up to the individuals to come together as a group in large numbers if you can to express these concerns and bring it towards and have it listened to and acted upon. Every community that I've seen that I've worked with on the reservation, they seem to have a different personality of needs because of demographics of where they're at. The ownership and the pride that's been asked of those communities works out wonderful and fine. The services that are needed in a larger metropolitan area have to come from the councils or the voice of all the people that are in this area, telling the council, this is what we need, this is what we must have to preserve our culture and the upbringing of our children. Sometimes it'd be just making a good home for families or transportation to experience life on a reservation and meeting families and friends. You know, it's not just in the Minneapolis area. We have large concentrations in the Duluth area, the Brainerd area, starting to grow over in the Fargo-Moorhead area, Fergus Falls areas. But as a council, we need to pay attention to all of them. And it's not that hard for the council to do that when the people create a voice and bring it towards them. And that's what needs to be respected, because you and your families need that respect. We are all Native Americans, we have families, we live together. We need this, and we'll make it work.
All right, good. I guess we'll move on with that question. What do you believe, Steve? I mean, what could be offered? What could be an idea for the membership that's not on the reservation? Because typically we're used to being ignored.
Right.
And yet we're always welcome home and we're allowed to vote, but we can't do other things, access other things. So what is your feelings on that? What do you see? Or
Well, that's a hard one until you make office and see where these monies are coming in. But for me, if I get elected on the council, I would sure be out there lobbying for you people, for your health care, to get money back in there for your communities, healthcare, children, maybe helping schools, start up like a JOM committee around here for your kids in school and stuff like that. And that is a very hard question. They want your vote, but they don't want to help. The best I can do is get in there and just see where the monies are coming in and really try to lobby for you people. That's the best I can do.
okay, good. on to Ken Coleman with that question as far as off-reservation. What do you see? What do you envision there? Because we make up the tribe. Our names are on the roll books. Where would you take that? Where would you see that going?
Just to let you know, I don't mean any disrespect by not standing, it's just more comfortable to sit.
That's fine.
I mean, there's not enough people here to actually, warrant standing. But anyway, this concern, I mean, it's been a major concern for everybody, with the off-reservation services that are, and it's very limited to people that do not live on the reservation. Nobody thinks outside the box. They don't see that we can, develop businesses inside the city. We can buy properties, we can develop businesses, and we can keep jobs going for people that live in the urban areas, and they can, be staffed by people that are whiter than roll. That would be one of the big things that we could do. Everybody sees the reservation is just that place where we can build our businesses. It's not, we can go off the reservation and own businesses, so we have to pay the tax or whatever. We can make that money outside the reservation and bring it back to the reservation. We can also provide jobs for our people off of the reservation. Another thing that I've been thinking a lot about is, the wages that the council makes. Cut those wages, give everybody a representative. Each village should have their own representation. It shouldn't be broken down into districts. It should be, Natalash has their own, Royal Lake, Rice Lake, Pine Point, Pine Bend. Everybody should have their own representation. Minneapolis, Duluth has a really high constituency. The Iron Range, Cass Lake, everybody should have a representative and get paid to be on that council so that everybody's voice is heard equally.
All right, big wish for that. And the next question we'll move on to what we discussed, I guess, in the White Earth Urban Council down here, and the lack of information forthcoming from the tribal council. That's just, it seems to be that way, that we elect them in, yet they decide that they know better because they're elected in that position, so they're there to make that decision, and that's the final answer that we get. So what would you say to transparency into tribal affairs, matters that affect us all, and being able to see in and honor that MCT Constitution we already have in place that states that we're all supposed to know? And I'll bring that question to Robert first.
Okay. Transparency, it begins with trust. The trust issue creates problems within, deep inside of all of us. The ability to know what our tribal leadership is doing to us, or are they working always in our best favor? Taking a look into the future, what happens today is going to affect us tomorrow. The issues of coming up with quick decisions are not always the best decisions. We need to make sure that if something needs to be dealt with immediately, well, things have to get ratified in perspective as far as what we want to create for us. The financial part, they talked about that. If we don't know where we're at, we don't know what we have. Now, I would really like to propose a different way of transparency as far as letting out all the information as far as our reservation can go to everyone. I love the tools of Facebook. I love the internet. That's a great tool of letting everyone know what's going on. Why aren't our tribal quarterly meetings or other meetings on the net to where you can watch it as it's happening, and you can in turn send your replies and say, why did you do this? Don't you need more time? Why do you agree on everything all the time? There's so many things that we could get our hands on and really feel a part as one people, no matter how far we are. From all the places in the United States, we can participate. I know we can. That way we know trust will be brought back into the council for our people.